Joe Biden is quickly becoming the greatest threat to small businesses since Fauci's fraud.
We're fighting communist Democrats, establishment rhinos. We're fighting against a system that stole the election in 2020, and nobody's been held accountable. We're in a war with bureaucrats that have forced vaccine mandates on us, mask mandates on us. And you know what? They're pushing this wokeness confusion down our throats now. And by the way, we should try Anthony Fauci and put him in front of a firing squad. And for the Secret Service, if they're listening, I'm not advocating we kill Anthony Fauci until he's convicted of his crimes through a court.
It's the same old stuff. This is Oklahoma Republican Chairman John Bennett, and he's apparently running for Congress. So once you run for Congress as a Republican, you have to hit the litany of normal things. This election was stolen. There's all this confusion with our genders. Oh my God, now we're woke. Oh yeah, let's kill Dr. Fauci. That's the process now. Bring back Fauci. Bring up that we should go ahead and murder him, maybe. Oh, only once he's been convicted of his crimes. Okay, sure, that's what you're talking about. So also, he's not the only one, as I mentioned. This is a bit of a flow when it comes to Republican candidates. She's Carrie Lake. She's a candidate for Arizona for governor. She also brought up Anthony Fauci because she's upset about ivermectin. Yeah, ivermectin. She's upset about ivermectin and how now it's been proven again and again and again. It was absolutely not useful when it comes to COVID-19, but it's Dr. Fauci's fault. Watch her.
Out there to buy ivermectin and find somebody who can prescribe it to us and then beg a pharmacist to give it to us. It works like Matt. I've taken it. It's a wonder drug. And it's outrageous they kept that from us. And it was Anthony Fauci who kept that from us. I'm encouraging any lawman here, and I'm talking sheriffs, I don't think it'll happen in Maricopa County, but I'm looking for someone tough like maybe Sheriff Lamb to issue a warrant for Anthony Fauci's arrest out of Arizona.
This is getting confusing. Should we arrest him? Should we fire squad him? Should we try him or just murder him outright? Doesn't matter. As long as you're pushing any kind of anger and violence towards him, you can generate some kind of support from the people that are sitting in that crowd. One more last thought here, because again, about ivermectin. The anti-parasitic ivermectin doesn't reduce the risk of hospitalization from COVID-19. That's according to a study published in the New England Journal of Medicine. In their conclusion, treatment with ivermectin did not result in a lower incidence of medical admission to a hospital due to progression of COVID-19 or of prolonged emergency department observation among outpatients with an early diagnosis of COVID-19. There have already been some clinical trials done earlier in the pandemic that showed ivermectin is not effective against COVID-19. The Food and Drug Administration has strongly urged against using the animal version of ivermectin to fight COVID-19, warning it can cause nausea, vomiting, abdominal pain, neurologic disorders, and potentially severe hepatitis requiring hospitalization. So I guess you could go to the hospital after taking it, at least say, yeah, it didn't keep me from going to the hospital.
Incidentally, you know what did lower hospitalization rates of COVID infected people? Vaccine status. I had COVID a month ago. It was terrible, but I was vaccinated and it could have been much worse and I never had to go to the hospital. So, maybe these Republicans, if they're interested in a wonder drug, I've got something for them that's free. You can get it at any pharmacy in your area. Don't have to pay a dime and it'll keep you out of the hospital. Hopefully, fingers crossed, should. But I mean, just threatening to murder, bureaucrats, as a campaign strategy. I would hope to God it's not effective, but I mean, when these are insane times we're living in, and I genuinely think that it might work for them, which is grotesque.
Yeah.
I have some criticisms of Anthony Fauci. None of them have to do, with me thinking that he should be in jail or, should be executed, is just absurd, or, based on his, telling people not to take ivermectin, a drug which could land you in the hospital because people are getting it from animal feed stores and taking insane amounts of it, and it is not effective in treating ivermectin. I mean, it's just really sad. It's like the first person is, running in Oklahoma, a state that has crumbling public schools. You know, they have a teacher crisis. They have a substitute crisis. These, you know, the education there is just falling apart, and you're not running on something meaningful that might actually, you know, appeal to people's actual understanding of what's going on. You know, increasing funding for public schools, strengthening, you know, or increasing pay for public school teachers. You're running on shooting Anthony Fauci,